Hey, this is TT, the manager with Think Like a Manager. And TikTok became American owned on January 2022, and they updated their terms of services right after becoming majority American owned. And buried deep in that legal language are some major things that I know every music artist on TikTok needs to understand before they post one more video. I'm talking about how TikTok can use your music to train AI, why delete doesn't actually delete your rights, how other users can use original sounds forever, and why the AI generated beat you made might not actually be yours anymore. This is not a delete TikTok episode if you don't want to, but this is really about understanding what you're agreeing to so that you can make smart decisions. That's what this episode is about. Let's break it down because this is really serious. So AI training. There's an AI training clause in the new terms of services. And let's talk about the elephant in the room, this AI training. Buried in 3.5, the section 3.5 in the terms of services, it says that TikTok can use your content for quote unquote training, testing, and improving our machine learning models and algorithms. Here's what that actually means in plain English. Every time you post a snippet of your unreleased song, you post an original sound you created, you post a beat you made, you post lyrics you wrote, TikTok can feed that into their AI systems to train them to generate similar content. For example, you're a lo-fi hip-hop producer. You post 50 beats on TikTok as original sounds. TikTok's AI analyzes your drum patterns, the chord progressions, your mixing style, and they learn from it. Later, TikTok or a partner uses that AI to generate lo-fi beats that sound like your style, and you get zero. Now, is this legal? Yeah. You agreed to it. Is it ethical? That's debatable. But you should know about this before posting. What you should do is don't post full unreleased tracks on TikTok. If you're posting original music, understand it's being used for AI training. And if that's okay with you, it's fine. Consider watermarking or tagging original content and keep your best, most original work off of TikTok until you release it officially. This is really about being strategic about what you post if you continue to stay on TikTok. So next up is the word that should scare everybody, even music, especially music artists, irrevocable. TikTok's license to your content is exclusive, irrevocable, and royalty-free. What does irrevocable mean? It means once you post to TikTok, TikTok has permanent rights to your content. Even if you delete the video, you delete your account, you blow up inside a major label deal, and you want your control back, they keep the rights forever. Here's a real world scenario for you. You're an independent artist, yes you are, and you post a 15-second snippet of your song to TikTok. The video gets 10 million views. A label sees it, and they want to sign you. But now TikTok has irrevocable rights to that snippet. They can use it in ads, they can share it with partners, they can include it in compilations, and they can train it on their AI. And you can't take it back. Now, does that mean TikTok is going to steal your song and release it themselves? No, it doesn't. But it does mean that you're giving them permanent rights to use it in ways you might not expect. So what you should do is treat your TikTok posts like public domain. Assume you can't control them later. Just assume it's there for them to use. Don't post anything you're not comfortable with TikTok using forever. And if you're serious about a track, release it first on platforms you control like your SMS, your email, and then promote it on TikTok. Here's one thing that really shocked me. When you post to TikTok, you're not just giving TikTok rights to your content. You're giving every user on TikTok a perpetual and irrevocable license to use your content. Of course, they need that in there to be able to repost and remix and things like that. But that does mean they can download your original sound, they can remix it, they can sample it, they can make derivative works, they can use it in their content forever without paying you. So let's say you're a producer, you make an original beat, post it as a TikTok sound, as a sound on TikTok, because you know when you post something and it says original sound, it belongs to TikTok. It blows up, 10,000 creators use it. Later you want to release that as a beat as part of an official project. The problem, 10,000 users now have a perpetual and irrevocable rights to keep using it. You can't DMCA them. You can't stop them because you gave them permission when you posted it. Now TikTok does have copyright tools, but this term of service clause complicates it. What artists should do? Don't post original beats, productions you plan to monetize later. If you do post, understand it becomes community property. You've put it in the community chest, in a sense. Use TikTok for promo of released music, not as your music library. This is not the unreleased promo time for TikTok anymore. We are music business. We're protecting our music now. TikTok wants to play with your music, and we want to protect our music. This isn't exclusive to TikTok because this terms of service is buried in all the other terms of services, but this one is a little more, it gets a little more ugly because of these other rights that they want. And we're going to continue to talk about this one here. So if you're using TikTok's AI features to generate music, beats, or lyrics, listen up. So they have the AI features in their TikTok for music, and then CapCut also belongs to TikTok. It's a ByteDance app. And if you're making things in there, you should also listen to this because the terms of services say, due to the nature of generative AI, output may not be unique to a specific user. So, of course, if you're using TikTok AI to generate a melody or someone else's, if you use TikTok to AI to generate a melody and someone else generates the same melody, you both have ownership, but neither of you owns it exclusively. I know that you guys aren't making AI beats in TikTok, but there are tools in TikTok that you may use that you may not realize. Like I was saying, CapCut. If you're making things in CapCut and you have the template generate you something that does not belong to you. You create a hook, you love it, you build a whole song around it, you release it. We know we're not making AI music, but there may be some of you that are. 3 months later, another artist releases a song with the exact same AI generated hook because they use the same AI tools with similar prompt. TikTok is telling you that we may just give that to him, give it to her, give it to someone else. It's not exclusive to you. Who owns it? Both of you, and neither of you at the same time. This is a copyright mess waiting to happen. And what you should do is don't use AI, period, to generate core elements of your music on TikTok, like your hooks, your melodies, and your beats. Don't use CapCut to generate, use CapCut with your original sounds either, because these roll over to CapCut. If you use AI for inspiration, heavily modify the output so it's unique to you. And understand that AI-generated content may not be defensible in copyright disputes. This is a real gray area right now. And like I said, I know a lot of you aren't using AI-generated music, but there are tools that you use that are connected to TikTok. TikTok has a lot of tools that you probably use that you probably have no idea belong to them. And if you're using this and putting your music in there and putting original beats in there, understand this happens. Just break it to you. CapCut is an AI program. It says it all over the app. It is an AI program. So if you're putting anything in there, know that this most likely applies. So what you should do now. We've covered AI training on your content. We've covered irrevocable licenses, user-to-user rights, your AI outputs, and ownership issues. But what you should do with this information, if you want to delete TikTok, I don't blame you. But I'm not screaming for you to delete TikTok and never use it again. But you could delete it and never use it again. That's one approach. But you'd be giving up one of the most powerful discovery engines for music right now. And I hate this. We have these powerful platforms, and they have these terrible, terrible user agreements and terms. So we have to figure out how to use them. Option 2, you can use TikTok strategically. And that's my recommendation. You can post promo content, not your vault. Don't put your unreleased vault in there. Do promo content. Release music only, snippets of official releases, and behind the scenes. Don't post unreleased originals. Keep your best work off of TikTok until it's official. Once again, don't give TikTok AI training data. Don't give TikTok AI training data on your unique sound before you capitalize on it yourself. Don't give it to TikTok. Watermark and tag original content. Make it clear it's yours. Make sure they know it's yours, and include copyright info in the captions, and protect yourself as much as possible. And another thing, get your fans off of TikTok. Get your fans off of social media. I've been screaming this. Use TikTok for discovery. Funnel email, funnel to SMS, funnel to your community, your Discord, your school, your circle. Build platforms you control, because here's the thing. TikTok, like we talked about, is on rented land. You are renting your space on TikTok. And every time they change their, what do we call it, their rental agreement, you got to agree. And the terms of services just confirmed what I've been screaming a couple days ago. What I've been screaming the last 3 or 4 years is get your fans off of social media. You don't own your content there. You license it to them. So use TikTok for what it's good at, discovery, and build your real audience on platforms you control. This is the time for that. We talked about AI training, irrevocable license, and your user rights, but the part you should absolutely terrify your artists is that TikTok's maximum liability for all of this mess is only $100. I'm going to say that again, $100. Buried in Section 4 of the terms, TikTok says the maximum aggregate liability shall under no circumstance exceed the greater of $100 or the amount you have paid us in the past 12 months. So what this means in real English, in real terms, is scenario 1. Here's the copyright disaster. You use TikTok's AI to generate a melody, or you use CapCut to do some stuff and it's original for you, and you build a whole song around that and you release it and it blows up. 3 months later, you get a cease and desist from a major label. Turns out TikTok's AI generated something that sounds almost identical to a copyrighted song. Now you're facing a copyright lawsuit. Legal fees alone could be $50,000 to $100,000. Can you sue TikTok for giving you AI-generated content that infringed? Technically, yes. Yeah, you can sue. But their max liability is $100. You've spent $50,000 on legal fees. TikTok is only liable for $100. Their terms of service explicitly say this. Output you generate may be unlawful, and by using the platform, you recognize and assume this risk. You're on your own, is what TikTok is saying. Scenario 2. This is way more likely for you. An account ban destroys your income. You're a music artist with 5 million TikTok followers. You make $50,000 a year from brand deals that come through TikTok in this new day and age where everybody's running to TikTok going, yay, these brands are going, TikTok's American owned and nothing's going to happen and all these artists are here. And you're making all these brand deals, and then TikTok's automated system mistakenly flags your account and bans you. You appeal, they deny it. Now your income is gone, your fans are gone, all of that overnight. Can you sue for lost income? Yeah, you sure can. Your max recovery is $100. Even though you lost $50,000 in annual income, TikTok's liability is capped at $100. Unless you paid subscriptions and for ads and things like that, and you can get those back. Scenario 3. The platform goes down during your launch. You planned a massive album release. You coordinated with influencers. You bought ads. You scheduled posts. Everything is all good and timed to drop at midnight. And then TikTok service crashed and it ruined your launch. You lose your momentum. It's gone. It's down for a day and a half. Your sales have sucked. Opportunities gone. Can you sue for damages? TikTok terms of services say we shall not be liable for any interruption or cessation in the provision of the platform. Even if you sue and you get a judgment in your favor, your max recovery is $100. Here's what you need to understand as a music artist. When you build your entire career on TikTok or any other platform, your income depends on the platform stability. Your income depends on the terms of services. You depend on that platform. Your fan base is there. Your brand deals come through it. You're taking a massive, an immense amount of risk, a massive risk. Because if something goes wrong, TikTok has zero liability. You bear 100% of the consequences, and the platform owes you nothing. They owe you zero. That's why I keep saying, get your fans off of social media. Don't build your entire career on platforms where you own nothing. You can't they can ban you anytime they want to. And their max liability is $100. I want you to take this seriously and start today to build email lists, to build SMS lists, your own website, and a community, and start to build a community online and start to build a community IRL in real life. Real life communities are going to be the best. Face-to-face, real life, speaking to people, even online and in real life is where it's going to be. Use TikTok for discovery, but build your real assets everywhere else. Because TikTok just told you in their terms, if all goes wrong, we owe you nothing. And if we do owe you, it's $100. TikTok is great for reaching new fans and telling them what's going on. And I'm not telling you to leave, but I'm also telling you to build your platforms. Build on platforms you control. Once again, I'm going to keep screaming this. You're going to hear me repeat this probably 3 more times before this is over. Email, SMS, your own community so that if anything goes wrong with TikTok CEOs decide that they're going to do something that you don't agree with, no matter what it is, your career doesn't go down with TikTok. Diversification is smart business. Diversify. All right, let's wrap this all up. Let's bring it all home. TikTok's new terms of services give them and other users this broad, permanent rights to your content. This includes the ability to use AI to train on it. That doesn't mean don't use TikTok, but it does mean understand what you're agreeing to. I would post strategically, post your best work, and get your fans off of social media and onto platforms you own. That's why I teach and think like a manager, how to build a career that doesn't depend on algorithms, that don't depend on platforms, that doesn't depend on hoping TikTok or Instagram or YouTube doesn't change their rules and doesn't demonetize you. It's a free community. I have premium curriculum. We have weekly calls. I have a link in the show notes. I'm TT the Manager. This is Think Like a Manager. Stay smart, stay safe. It's crazy out there. Peace.